So the first rule for dating INTJs is that you don't chase them. They have to select you. This personality type is notoriously hard to read and elusive. So the first challenge of dating an INTJ is knowing whether or not they like you, because it's not only hard to tell if an INTJ likes you, but they are especially awkward around a crush. So this adds an extra layer of difficulty. But the first hint that an INTJ likes you is that they are interacting with you more than they absolutely have to. INTJs prefer to be alone rather than in bad company, and they assess most people as bad company. So if they go to a social event because you're going to be there, you can be sure that they are very interested. So their move when they have a crush is to observe the person from afar. So this could mean stalking on social media and Googling the person and finding out everything they can. And this observation and research phase lasts a long time. And they prefer to get to know people slowly because they're highly selective and they don't want a relationship just for the sake of it. So they don't like to rush into things. What they're doing in this observation phase is basically a risk assessment of the relationship by building patterns of you over time. And they approach every situation systematically. So dating and relationships are no different for them. And though this may seem unromantic to some, learning about you and learning your patterns for them is their way of flirting. So when it comes to dating challenges, we have first figuring out if they like you. And another problem is that they take so long in the observation phase that they may miss the opportunity to actually ask the person out. They struggle with taking action when they don't have enough time to build a system in their head. And so, like I said, opportunities could pass them by when approached so calculated and with great intention. The second problem, or third, I guess, is that they have a bias towards patterns that they've picked up on, and these patterns may not actually reflect the a present reality that's in front of them, and they can judge people harshly based on these patterns. The fourth problem is that crushes and love can be very uncomfortable for the INTJ, and they don't like the emotions and the vulnerability that this brings up and having it take control of them. So oftentimes they will sort of retreat and disappear for a while they deal with all these emotions that they're having. So to help people who are dating or trying to date an INTJ, I've put together a guide with the best top 20 pieces of practical advice and explanations for dating an INTJ. And that's available for $9.99 on our website now, and I will link that below. Getting on with it, when it comes to casual dating, this is not typically the INTJ's thing because for them, shallow relationships are a waste of time and don't provide any real value. And a lot of social interaction for them is draining. So they only really invest in dating people that they see a true long-term possibility with. They are very commitment focused. And once they actually do invest in a person, they're sure of their decision and they are committed to that relationship. So INTJs are the type that is most likely to date with the intention of marriage. And how they approach relationships, once they've observed and analyzed their crush and they're confident that this person will agree to a date, the INTJ will directly ask the person out. And they want to be sure that you'll agree to it, because that rejection is very painful. But once they know, they don't beat around the bush. They prefer to get things out in the open and move forward. When it comes to dates, they like to keep the setting casual and the conversation deep. They want to get to know the person for real, without all of this, all the formality involved. But they still try to impress their crush in some way, like through their intelligence and their skills. And so they'll try to look for opportunities to showcase the best parts of themselves and convince this other person that they're worth investing in as well. INTJs are very goal-oriented people, and they look at relationships the same way. They want to work on the relationship and grow together. And for them, stagnation isn't an option. They want to optimize everything in their lives, including their love life. So this is kind of hard for people who are in a relationship with an INTJ, but they seek out problems in the relationship in order to fix them. They're not the type to sweep anything under the rug. Things have to be addressed directly so that they can fix the problem as soon as possible and move on, so that love life optimized sort of deal. INTJs, they're not idealists, but they do have high standards for their relationships and a vision of where they want the relationship to be. So they're always looking to guide it in that direction. And if it's not there at that vision that they have, then it's something that needs to be worked on. When you get on an INTJ's bad side in a relationship, so they highly value loyalty and they focus on long-term commitment and look for patterns of behavior. So even a hint of disloyalty is enough to make them question the long-term viability of a relationship. So they can present at times as a bit paranoid and controlling in a relationship, because they want to know that everything that's going on, if they feel insecure in it. And, you can avoid this through a pattern of honesty and trust that will alleviate their natural anxiety towards disloyalty. They're typically not the ones for ghosting, but if they do see a pattern that they don't like, they will bluntly end the relationship. And it may seem like they have no remorse, but it does hurt them a lot. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. As a final note, please remember that not every INTJ is the same. And so not every piece of advice that I give will be applicable to each individual. And the advice that we give is not intended to help people to socially manipulate or engineer anybody, or to trick them into a relationship. All of our advice is to help people understand themselves and each other better, so that they can form healthy relationships through being able to communicate what they need in a relationship and who they are and what's important to them. So understanding personality type is an extremely powerful tool, and it should be approached with care. We don't advocate for anyone to begin a relationship based on typology alone, and there are many theories of compatibility, and only you can be the ultimate judge of whether someone is right for you. So if you found this video helpful and you're looking for more tips based on all that disclaimer for dating the INTJ, check out the dating guide linked below.
Your personality is unique. It's hard to find someone that understands you. Try dating using personality type matching. Find out who you're compatible with using Myers-Briggs and Big 5 personality scores. Download TypeMatch and start dating by personality type compatibility today. TypeMatch, available on App Store and Play Store.